About to change the battery from the Duster, and look at that thing. August of 2006. Duralast. Used battery. Ha! All right, so back working on the Duster here. Got a new battery for it. And check the oil. The oil's great. Transmission fluid is good. But we're having some wiring problems. So I noticed this guy right here is a little fried. This guy was connected to this red lead that's coming right. Where'd it go? Comes through this all the way over here. And I'm not sure if that's that looks original, but there was just the crimped adapter slid into that, and that's 12 volts 24/7. So with or without the key on. So I'm unsure what the heck they were doing with it. So anyways, if you come on in here to the interior, I realized, well, maybe I should, they got a push button in here. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because when I turn the key, nothing happens. No lights. And I got to figure out what's going on with that. So I've also noticed that this plug right here, if you can see it, it is burnt. We got that big red wire coming out of that, which has been cut. So I'm trying to find out what's the original harness and where it goes, and doing some research. But there's nothing going out the backside of that plug. So I got some work to do. So I'm going to get back diagnosing this to find out what's going on. But if I go into the power block right here and hooking up this little trigger, she does turn over. So that's good. The next thing I did was, okay, I don't think I'll have power to the coil yet, but I got my test light hooked up right here. And if I turn the motor over, that light should be blinking as, I believe that's a points distributor, opens and closes. Nothing's happening. Now, I'm not sure if that's because I'm not getting power inside the car or what, but I'm going to go ahead and diagnose this and report back. All right, so right here, I got to take the seat out of this dang thing so I could lay under the dash and figure out what's going on with this wiring. So that's what's going on right here. Let's get this greasy seat out. So that's all the remnants of everybody that's lived in this, including all the homeless people. Like I said, when I picked it up, so many of these roach bombs in here. I don't blame them. I really thought that was a rat. It still could be a rat. No, it's not a rat. Another one of these trap door things. Oh, that goes up under there. You can see that. Okay, cool. I'll probably want that. So, anyways, I'm going to clean this up and rip out this. But look at those floors. Look at the floors. There's green paint. So next, I'll go ahead and start laying under the dash and really being able to look at what's going on with the wiring, finding out what's going on with that fuse panel under there, get power into the car to the switch, to the ignition switch, and go from there. then I could diagnose why we're not getting spark. Who knows? That's probably why we're not getting spark. So pretty sure that coil is going to need me to rebuild the points or at least clean them, but we'll get it going. Anyways. All right, back working on the duster over here. I went ahead and put a fusible link in there just to test it. I ran it through the bulkhead, got a good connection on it. I only got a 15 amp fuse on it. I was trying to do some conversions. I'm not the greatest at this kind of stuff, but gonna go ahead and turn the key, pull the lights, see if anything happens. Well, probably should put the battery cable on, right, Jeff? All right. Let's see here. Well, if that's 12 volts 24/7, the wire hasn't burned, and now everything's connected, and the fuse didn't pop. So let's see if we got headlights. Tell me there's something. Tell me that. Oh, I see a side marker. I see headlights. Boom! Ah, this is great. This is good news. Look at that. All right, that side marker is not working, but got the passenger side headlight. You know what they call those things, the running lights, the parking lights in the center. So passenger side's on. That little guy needs some help. Driver's side tail light. This marker seems to be on, which is crazy. No marker light on here. Oh, first time I've seen the tail lights do something. No way. Look at it, it's blinking at me. This thing's pissed off. Ah! Got another one. We got another one. No way. Oh, that's exciting. You know, these little accomplishments are great. Now, let's go ahead and see if we're getting any spark. Huh. Before I do that, I gotta push this push button and see if it does anything. Ooh! It turns the damn thing over. Holy. Legit. All right. No dash lights. No dome light. I think that bulb's just done though. Oh, shit. Oh, just fried the car. Uh-oh. That ain't good. Oh, what did I just do? No. So, yep, this wire is so hot. But at least I didn't torch all those wires. Let's come on into the inside of the car, because holy hell. At least I don't see no flames. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! This is not good. Oh, what just torched? All right, so that was fun. Psych. So I traced the burnt wire that was fried, just smoked all the way from the bulkhead. And that guy is right there, where the engine bay harness meets the interior harness. So here's the smoked wire. And I had to take all the electrical tape out of the harness, pull the gauge cluster, and I mean, this thing was just so melted that it melted the electrical tape really bad to all the other wires. But good thing is, no other wires got damaged in this, so it was just the alternator wire. That's what that is. I gotta get a wiring diagram for this car and really start understanding how all this works. I can't be praying and hoping that I'm hooking things up right. But to my defense, this car was already butchered with that that push button right there, and this plug was already smoked, you know, on the back side of that. So that was jerry-rigged right. All right, so I'm back working on the Duster. I think the ignition switch may be bad. I think I figured out the wiring. I'm not burning up the wires anymore when I'm turning the key, but I think the ignition switch may be bad. I changed the starter solenoid and the ballast resistor over there. That was giving me problems. I swapped out the coil because it wasn't giving out the correct ohms. I put a used, newish one in there. And then I went and took the distributor cap off, cleaned up the points inside there with a little piece of sandpaper, got them to spark, and cleaned up the cap and rotor. And now I still have to use this guy right here. But if I crank it over, you can see we got some spark. It seems pretty late. I don't really know, but there's some spark there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some starter fluid down the throat of this beast and see if she lights off. No way. Sounds like it's dying. Come on, baby. How you doing? Everything good? You're not gonna catch on fire? Stay this. Sticky. Shit. I hit the starter button when it was running and I didn't know what I was doing. Load her up. Oh, that was the longest she ran. No way. Alright, back trying to start this thing. I got a little mini electric fuel pump I could hook up, but I think tomorrow I may try to run a gas tank into the trunk and get the original pump to work. I don't know. Get going. Didn't even really smoke. We are running off the gas tank. And we got flowage. We got flowage. And that pulley's about to take a shit. It's okay, buddy. Hang in there. So back trying to figure out why my ignition keeps popping the main the starter fuse that I have in line that goes to the starter solenoid. So I pulled the steering wheel off and noticed in here that the starter switch is falling apart in there. That is not good. So that's a good sign because now, I mean, that has to be pretty much what's going on with it. So gonna end up pulling that out of there. I think I need a puller to pull this guy off and then I can get to it. So I'm gonna get after it. It's too much of a mess. Oh yeah. If you come on in here, you can see when this turns what's going on in here. You know, there's stuff that's not making a connection in there, probably shorting out. You know, it's doing its thing, but that is all sorts of jacked up. So that is... So I got the ignition switch off and literally once I got it out of the steering column, it just fell apart in pieces. So this had to have been definitely the issue. So got a new one right there. I'm gonna install it. Looks like, I don't know what that is, but that's some grease. I was thinking maybe it was burned across there, but the wires on the back look okay, but I don't think it was actually making a good connection when it was spinning. Like all these springs popped out of it. There's a little black piece of plastic that wasn't doing its job. Oh geez, yeah, this thing was all tore up. Look at that little pin. Yep, I think we found the problem. Cross the fingers, baby. All right, I got the new ignition switch installed, and you know, this is just temporary right now. The male plug that was part of the car was fried, so I had to get rid of that. Plugged in the ones that I could up here, but I'm gonna end up getting a new plug so it still looks factory, and then clean all these wires up and make it look nice, but this is just testing purposes. First time I'm gonna turn the key, I am praying that this engine turns over. You got a buzzer when I do that. What could it be? What am I missing here? Orange, black to black, brown to brown, blue to blue, yellow to yellow. This is the starting wire. It's really on there. Ignition wire. This is the power to the key and the ground. Let's see here. So park, reverse, neutral. Let's try it in neutral. Oh my God, it turned over. Oh my God. It's running. This thing fires up instantly. So I think it's the neutral safety switch or where this is lined up. Something's up with that. Woo! We got a key, baby. Oh my God, that is a win. Starts with the key, fired right up cold. Jeez. The Leaning Tower of Power. Boom. Oh, got rid of all those burnt wires. Got rid of this old ignition switch. Fried. Wow, that is a win. Woo! More in a minute. All right, so I got the old master cylinder out, as I said earlier, and had to pull this push rod out. And the new master cylinder, obviously, they make you use the old push rod. So they say that there's a metal or rubber O-ring inside this guy right here, or a rubber O-ring that's just holding that in there like it's pressed in, but I don't know, it is in there so good. So I'm gonna put it in a vise, put this big old ramrod through there, and start yanking on it, and hopefully it'll come out. If not, I may have to go get a slide hammer. Oh. We shall see. Get that guy through there. I'm gonna probably fly backwards. Oh yeah, got it, sweet. All right, so I'm gonna put the new master cylinder in the vise, get ready to bench bleed, and work on the old piston rod so the new master cylinder can accept it. There's an old rubber O-ring on this guy right here. And the kit came with a new one that I got to slide on, so I'm gonna do that. Drink up, little buddy. Probably filled that way too much. Let me say, you can see the bubbles coming out. I think the front reservoir is for the rear. I think you're only supposed to push it in like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, maybe up to 1 inch. I'm not really sure. I had to go back to the instructions. Oh, we got a squirter. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's happy.
She's in.
All right, boys, we got this. We got the car running. Gonna take it on its maiden voyage with the Slant 6 225, baby, leaning tower of power. But hey, so replace the brake lines, master cylinder. It stops a little bit. New gas tank, fuel lines, oil change. Got it running. Fixed the ignition problem, so I'm not burning wires. And I'm gonna go drive this thing down the street before I pull the engine. And I got me an 8 3/4 rear end right there. I'm working on getting the gears and the axles and everything to go in the car, and we're gonna get this thing rolling. Let's go.
Maybe it's just not in the same place. Is that reverse? Dead dog. You're gonna need it with no reverse. There's the runway. The Ruster. It lives. There she goes.
So this is the shop right here. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's actually moving and it just stopped. Oh my God. This is crazy. We off, baby! Let's see if it shifts. Oh my God, that was second. We got second gear. We got a horn. We got a side view mirror. Old Ruster. That's what we call it. It actually drives really nice. I'm very surprised. So when I drove it home on a trailer, me and my brother-in-law Charles, my homie right there, helped me out. We left the windows down so all this, cat shit and everything could just blow out. And so it's not too bad. I can't believe it's just my luck for this thing to not to work. We cruising, man. We cruising on the main road. Tags from 2007. And these tires are about to blow. About to blow like Pamela Anderson. Steering wheel's a little shaky. I think that's the tires. I got one tire on this thing that's like 24 inches tall, and the others are like 22 or something like that. I don't even know. We cruising. We cruising. I'm actually really surprised right now. Let's go see what's up. My buddy's dad right here, Mike. No. Garage ain't open. He ain't drinking beers. We are cruising. This is crazy. Like, it really is. Man, the steering, like, it actually drives. I mean, it's really sloppy. I mean, the steering's solid, but I mean, for how wasted the suspension is, it's just like an old grandma car. I am shocked. Brake check. Wow. Oh, brakes actually work. That bench bleed did it. Look at this guy. Pops. Leaning tower of power, baby! ah, ah. It stops, it moves, it turns. No power steering, and it's not too bad. I like it. Oh man, this is great. This is great. She's a ripper. Ripping.
One of your tail light bulbs might be there backwards. I don't know if you mess with them or not. That's smoky.